The air crackled. Lightning split the sky. Thunder echoed across the barren plain. Rain lashed down, turning the ground to mud. At the center of the storm stood two figures, silhouetted against the lightning flashes. This was no ordinary storm. This was a battleground. The very air hummed with anticipation. Something powerful was about to happen. The wind howled. It whipped around the figures, tugging at their clothes, but neither moved. They stood firm, their gazes locked. One wore crimson robes, the color of dried blood. The other was clad in armor, the blue of a stormy sea. The fate of the world seemed to hang in the balance. This was a fight for ultimate power. The figure in crimson raised his hands. A fiery glow emanated from him. He was tall and lean, his face hidden by a deep hood. He moved with the grace of a predator, every motion precise and deadly. He was a master of fire, a warrior who commanded the flames. Opposite him, the figure in blue armor mirrored his stance. A cold light surrounded him, chilling the air. He was shorter but powerfully built. His face was grim, his jaw set with determination. He was a master of water, a warrior who controlled the tides. The two were opposites, yet equally matched. Their powers were a reflection of their very beings. From the Crimson Warrior, flames erupted. They swirled and coalesced, taking the form of a magnificent dragon. Its scales were red-hot, its eyes burning embers. It roared, a sound like a furnace, and beat its wings, sending waves of heat across the battlefield. The fire dragon was a creature of immense power, born of the flames. As if in answer, the blue warrior raised his arms. A torrent of water burst forth, swirling and freezing into the form of a majestic dragon. Its scales were made of ice, its eyes glittering shards. It roared, a sound like cracking glaciers, and whipped its tail, sending a wave of frost across the battlefield. The water dragon was equally impressive, born of the deepest oceans. Section 4. A Clash of Titans. The two dragons circled each other, their roars shaking the very ground. Then, with a rush of wings, they clashed. The fire dragon breathed a torrent of flames, engulfing the water dragon. But the water dragon simply roared, the flames evaporating into steam on contact with its icy scales. It retaliated with a blast of freezing energy, encasing the fire dragon in ice. But the fire dragon burst free, melting the ice with its fiery breath. The battle raged. Flames met ice, steam filled the air, and the ground trembled under their feet. It was a battle for the ages, a fight that would determine the fate of the world. Section 5. From chaos, respect. Then, as quickly as it started, the battle ended. The two dragons collided in a cataclysmic explosion of fire and water. Steam billowed, obscuring everything. When it cleared, the two dragons were gone. Only the two warriors remained, standing amidst the wreckage. They looked at each other, their gazes no longer locked in combat, but filled with a newfound respect. The Crimson Warrior held out his hand. In his palm rested a single shimmering blue scale. The Blue Warrior nodded and offered a scale of his own, this one a fiery red. They had tested each other, pushed each other to their limits, and in that struggle they had found respect. They turned and walked away, each clutching their scale, a memento of their epic battle. The storm had vanished, leaving behind a clear, star-filled sky. The air was no longer charged with tension, but with a sense of peace. The battle was over, but the legend would live on.